up next.
Welcome to T4G Sports. Today we're going to talk about which coach should you start out with depending on the situation at hand. What should you make your coach to be? How glorious can he become? 2 videos ago we recommended Recruiter, but that was a long time ago. We've learned a lot since then, so that may or may not be the case. So without further ado, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell, and let's light it up. Let's go have some fun, yeah? So regardless of whichever package you choose, the coinage is the same to upgrade the other ones. You're looking at 20 coinage a piece. So there's no real bonus for going after one over other when it comes to coinage, at least. And that reminds me of the first and last time I ever went to church. I went with my aunt. I sat down and yelped, and a tear started coming out of my eye, and she thought I was getting choked up because it was my first time at church. But in reality, I just sat on my balls, and that's why I don't go to church anymore. That leads me into the next point that I have here, which is philosophy. Okay, there is so many different ways that you can go about this, and there's not really like one right answer. They kind of all get you to the same place. It's just depending on how you want to attack it. So you may do things differently if you're a crappy program compared to if you're a good program, comparative to if you're playing users or the CPU. So I'm going to talk about different scenarios here, and what you guys do is you decide which scenario fits you guys best. Because I don't think there's a right and wrong answer on this. I really don't. I don't think you have to upgrade your coach at all to actually be successful in this game. I think it just takes time. If you're a crappy program, it just takes you more time. If you're less crappy, it takes you less time. Simple as that. Because in reality, there's only certain variabilities that will make you truly successful in this game. If you're user playing, are you good on the sticks? Okay. If you're not, yeah, you could have a really good team, but it's going to be difficult for you. All right. If you're simulation, it's pretty basic. Okay, have the best playbooks and schemes, which we have a video coming out on that. The next one, hire an offensive and defense coordinator that give you the best abilities that you would want. And then the next part is recruit well. And recruiting, if you've seen our videos, is really not that difficult. You understand one thing: it's a time-based situation. Okay, it takes time for you to bring in a good class and for them to grow. So that's why I don't think you really even have to upgrade your coach at all in order to actually be successful, regardless of the tier. I just think it makes it, obviously a little bit easier. So even though I may not recommend one, doesn't mean you can't be successful. I think you could be successful with any one you choose, or even if you don't choose any, and that's amazing. Look at you go. Your mom's going to be proud. So Motivator for me is my least favorite, not because I don't like it, just because I don't see enough in it that scratches that itch and makes me want to go down this rabbit hole. So I know I recommended a long time ago, 2 days ago, to choose Recruiter if you had a bad program. But in reality, I'm going to switch that because it was a long time ago and we learned a lot since then, is that you shouldn't choose this one unless you are a good program with good hours, because you're not going to scout with a bad program like Akron or Kent State for like at least 3 to 5 years, right? At least 3 if you're good at recruiting. And so tier 1 and tier 2 really are the only ones that are effective. I thought tier 3, but the thing about tier 3, it's very obvious. The better you are, the more they're interested in you. If you have the hours too in that time period and you can schedule them for a visit and send the house or hard sell them, then you have a good chance of getting them. But it's not something, tier 3 is really not going to affect you that much. And these tiers down here, it just takes you so long, it's demoralizing. Okay. And with specialist, I wouldn't go anything past tier 1. So with Recruiter, if you're a good program, tier 1, tier 2 for everybody besides specialist, and then you could go to Tactician at that point would be my recommendation. But if you're a bad program, what I would recommend is going Tactician, and in reality, you want to go offensive line 2 tiers and then defensive line 2 tiers. You're getting 5 guys with this one upgrade. All right. And you're going to notice a difference in your team. It's not going to be drastic. Nothing like, you won't be like, oh my God, it's super noticeable, but you'll notice over time, you're like, my players are doing well. The thing that you want to realize about this game and in real life, and most of you guys know this right away, what separates a good team from a bad team is there's one huge answer to that. It's the trenches, offensive line and defensive line. That is the biggest separation from the really good teams and the not so good teams. The skilled players, you will find better skilled players. Offensive line, defensive line, it gets thin quick when you're at these terrible teams. And so that would be my recommendation, tier 1, tier 2 at least for offensive line, defensive line. And then you could go from there. You could go to your weaknesses and say, hey, my quarterbacks aren't very good. Maybe my cornerbacks aren't good, whatever. And, upgrade from there. You could even just fully upgrade both D-line and offensive line. It's kind of up to you. You could go 2 tiers on this, spread it out a little bit elsewhere, and then go recruiter. It's kind of up to you. Anyways, hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and we'll see you in the next one.